Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first video together on our new channel, Russian 4. We've been living in China for quite a long period of time. In your case?
10 years.
10 years, not just 10, I think like 14 probably, right?
But not all time in China.
But it's getting closer to 13 or 14 years, right? Okay, and again, and like in my case, it's over 10 years. We have something to share. We have something, on our mind. And
we have
for example,
living in
education.
China.
What about education? So my wife, she got her first degree here in Xiamen City, and then Shenzhen University, right, etc. So here, quite similar story for me. We were thinking, which topic are we going to choose, pick up for our first video, and we thought nothing else but something quite, frankly speaking, primitive. Pluses and minuses. Pluses and minuses. Those positive and negative aspects of life in China, right? For the starter, our first plus is transportation availability, right? So what do we have to say about that?
First, you can take a taxi, subway, airplane, or high-speed
railway trains, right? Literally in any direction. And most importantly, that's quite available.
Yeah, and
right?
fast. You can use your phone, use WeChat, and buy ticket easily in 1 minute.
That's right. So I just figured, I said it wrongly. Not available, affordable. And just like Nasya said right now, so she said you can get the ticket like in a minute online.
It's not expensive. You can go across China with 500 RMB.
500 RMB, that's something like $70, right, US. Every modern city in China has a metro. So metro is very convenient, constantly developing. They constantly add more, they build more stations. And again, it's affordable. The price in metro depends on the distance you go, right? So how far, the farther you go, the more you pay. So yeah, transportation availability and affordability, that's an obvious plus. Again, like we compare everything with Russia, even though in Russia it's also quite good, quite convenient. By the way, in some countries there is no public transportation developed, for example. And in China, in Russia, public transportation is quite developed. So this is a plus. The next one is cashless society. Like from my perspective, it's both positive and negative, right? Because like to some people, having cash, I mean, when you run your own business, maybe that would be some kind of minuses. But for us, like normal people who pay taxes and stuff like that, right? So that's okay, right? To live this life without cash. I don't have any coins. I don't even have a wallet. Do you have a wallet?
No, I don't have. I have in my phone. But you can use Chinese WeChat Pay or Alipay only when you have a bank card.
Whenever you go, you don't use any cash at all. Like zero. You just like literally like all this time we live in China, we literally forgot about cash, about physical, actual money. We don't have those things. Yeah, we keep something at home, but like the convenience that you have when you, for example, you owe some money to a friend, the friend owes some money to you. You don't need to go to any special banking system or something, some app or something like that. No, you just go to a typical, like WeChat in this case, something similar to WhatsApp, and you just scan the code, the QR code of a person, you just scan it, you transfer, everything happens in like 10 seconds, done. So that's a convenience, without any bank involved.
Yeah, but in Russia same, we can use app.
You're right. In Russia nowadays too, yes, but it takes longer. It takes longer. It's just, you still bank. What about this? Playground availability, they're everywhere, you said.
Yeah, but when you have a kid, it's good when you have entertainment for kids.
Right, so it's a necessity that becomes a very, very important part of the life. Wherever you go, whenever you go, you always need a place to entertain, where you would be able to entertain your kid, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So in this case, it's an obvious positive aspect, even though in Russia we also have like playgrounds everywhere, right? But I think in Russia those playgrounds are much better than in China.
No, it's same. But here quality is somewhere much better.
Here, quality here is better.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Quality, wow, that's a surprise. But still, I wouldn't say everywhere. I still like modern, like, yeah, okay, I understand why you said that. The point is that in China, in Russia, there are two types of playgrounds for children. Those that are built nowadays, the modern ones, they're really fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the other one you said with lower quality and not that good looking, they're built in like USSR style or something like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Just older ones, right? So in this case, yeah, okay. But you guys also tell us in the comment section below if you guys have those playgrounds in your country, in your city, and how available they are. Are they everywhere? Is that easy just to go in any direction and find some playground for your kid? So yeah, it's just something that you don't pay attention when you don't have kids, right? But when you do have kids, like it's a completely different life. Like you pay attention to those details. Now you never cared before. Now you do. And 安全第一, that's what it sounds like in Chinese. Safety first. So how safe China is. Look at the safe country, and look at the mess that happens in other countries. That's what I quote Chinese people right now because they constantly say like, look at the other countries are just so messy. Only in China you feel safe, right, etc. And again, like in Russia, do you feel safe in China? In Russia?
Yes, but in the union, I don't want to go alone.
Well, yeah, because there are some individuals that would drink, for example, right?
Yes.
There are some teenagers, aggressive teenagers, for example. Maybe not necessarily aggressive, but you don't feel very comfortable with them, right?
You don't know what they
What to
want
expect.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But again, speaking of safety, right? For example, of course, right now we are in our complex, so there are some camera surveillance right here that also pointed at the buildings, and which again brings up some other issues. For example, a lot of robbery, a lot of Spider-Man thing, used to be in China. People used to be robbed all the time. But nowadays, the surveillance, it's literally everywhere. It's CCTV, right? And it's like, to me, it's like a very good thing and very bad thing at the same time. So, I mean, like, it's really safe, but at the same time, I mean, you're being constantly monitored,
Yes.
right? So, but again, would you go outside at 3 a.m. at night?
Yes. In China, I feel safety.
Everywhere, right?
Yes.
So that's the point. I mean, like any woman, any young girl can go anywhere at any time and you would be okay. You shouldn't be worried at all. So safety, yes. A lot of police, good looking. Okay, 好看吗？好看，可以啊。Right. So, and yeah, so there was the guy, he just looked at us like, what the hell are you doing? So he decided to take a picture of us. Safety, safety, safety. Right. So it looks like, yes, especially for children. No, wait a second, especially for children. But Chinese people never let go of their children. They always watch them.
Yes.
So, because everybody remembers lots of kids were here kidnapped. And it still is a problem, a real problem in China. So, I mean, like, safe in the city, safe, but we have no idea what is going on in the rural area. Right, Dedicate?
Yes.
Do you feel safe?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so she also feels safe. That's a good thing. Okay, off you go. Quick, affordable, and very convenient delivery. So what do we have to say about that?
I like delivery service here in China because it's fast. You can
get anything from the online world wherever you are. If you're in the park, if you're literally at some public beach, for example, or in anywhere, literally everywhere, the delivery will find you and deliver anything you want. I mean, like, you can buy a motorcycle, you can buy a bicycle, or just I don't know, something very simple,
Yes.
like a yogurt or something. Even one yogurt, right? So in this case, yeah, lots of people migrate within the country and look for the job, and they end up being in delivery services. All right, our next one is something that you really get annoyed with when we are not in China, and this is the tips culture.
Yeah.
Because we know very well what happens when you're in a restaurant, you get ready to share some money with the waiter, with the restaurant, etc., right? And in that regard, what can we say about China? There's literally no, I mean, like, sorry guys, you know, she's just constantly blocking our way, right? But you walk too slowly because you walk too slowly, right? So yeah, as we were saying, in China, do we need to leave any tips for the waiter? Anything?
No, we don't
The answer
need.
is
It-
no tips. There are no tips at all, and it's something that we always, of course, are quite happy with. And if you will try to leave some tips for the waiter, they will reject. They won't take it. Even the delivery guys, I mean, it's crazy, literally crazy. Sometimes I feel so sorry for them because they literally, you know, carry heavy packages, right? Heavy bags of all these groceries, etc. And I feel weird, but nobody's gonna take any tip. So then, and again, when you travel, just go to the nearby Thailand or Vietnam or other countries, and yes, you will have to get ready with a tip. So yeah, and again, when it comes to taxis, etc., this you know, I found another minus. Look, they can lie down on any public bench with their feet on. Sorry, this one is about positive aspects, not about negativity. How much, for example, do you pay for a typical taxi ride? And most importantly, how much do you leave for the driver? In the form of a tip, right? And it could be anything, for a cup of coffee or something. Here you get everything, whatever you want, without being worried about the fact that you have to leave some more money, right? The next obvious positive aspect is the fact that everything is new here. It's a new country. What do we say?
Everything is modern,
Subway,
new building.
all these buildings, everything. So all this infrastructure, whatever bridge it is, whatever pedestrian way it is, right? Everything is new, and it's kind of obvious. I mean, it's logical, right? Because the country is new. Even the Chinese people, by the way, they count not the calendar, but they say like we are the new country of like 75 years, because they count from the establishment of the party. You know, not like we are a 5,000-year-old country, but no, they say like no, our society is just 75 years. It's not a 75-year-old society. So what about the next one? Maybe you are going to enlighten everybody.
I can say that I can buy more cheaper clothes for kids here in China, more cheaper than in Russia.
These are really good quality, and kids' garments, clothing in general, would be much more expensive in Russia.
It's,
The next plus is not quite obvious for southern people, but for us, it's an obvious advantage. So it's availability of hot tropical countries, because here in China, first off, transportation is not super expensive, and also just because there's a border. Yeah?
Yeah.
The next plus maybe is not that obvious, but if you know the languages, then there are some doors open for you, and we are talking about the level of income.
Yeah.
Because I remember, for example, you were looking for a job in Russia, and then you ended up, after some research, online research, you've decided to find the job in China, even though you graduated from a Chinese university, and then you thought like, no, I will go back to Russia, I will
Yeah.
try to find a job. Then you thought like, okay, so this is the salary that definitely is not for me, so I'm gonna find something else in China, and you got a better offer. And that was like $1,500 back then, right?
Yes.
So like $1,500, right? And for a freshly graduate student, right? For a person like you here with a bachelor's degree, and in Russia that would be like how many times lower? Like 4 times lower. Again, this would be a positive aspect. Only, it's a plus, only if you know the languages. Because if you're a regular Chinese with really nothing to offer, and again, if you are a proper graduate here in China, like you're a Chinese person, you can also get some good income, right? Even though probably the workload will be a bit more, right? So, yeah. But for foreigners, if you know the language, some doors are going to be open for you. So yeah, but again, like if we compare that with the US, of course, that would be nothing. You know, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, right? For the US, it's nothing. So yeah, but again, it's always good to know what exactly you're trying to compare with. So to some, it's a good thing. To some, it's nothing. We got a car in China, and that car, for example, it was a Geely, an heir of Volvo, by the way. Anyway, we were just saying, so in China, car industry, the manufacturing of in this field is much more affordable than it is in Russia, even though Russians also have their own manufacturing companies, car manufacturers, but here in China, they are very affordable. So at the price of, and again, in America, I know in America, they're also very affordable. But in this case, we got the car of like, it was like I think like $14,000. We got the car, it was $15,000, right? And in Russia, the car would be like, the same car would be like $27,000. So yeah. Russian custom clearance. So yeah. Labor cost, it's lower here in China. And the second is the fact that all big, small, whatever manufacturers there are, right, so they're all here. So the competition, the market is really tight here, right? The next plus is incredible variety in any field. I mean, in China, you literally can buy anything you want. You can find anything you want online, order it, and it can be delivered within 2 or 3 days. So it's the choice that you have in China. Like you can buy something really crappy that is going to break in like a minute or something, or you can get something of premium quality too, right? So it's the variety of products, the variety of literally everything. So if you got the money, if you got the means, right? The next plus is the size of the country and the location of the country. The country is big. It's big enough to cover lots of climate zones. And at the same time, it literally, for example, right now, you know, it's like 20 plus degrees here in Shenzhen, and it's like minus 20
No winter
at the north, right? So there's north, there's south, there's like medium, very good location in terms of climate. It's not the country that lies on the equator, for example. It's not too northern country, so very good positioning. The next is the obvious advantage from the previous plus. Availability of all these fruits and vegetables all year round, right? So you can get anything you want during the year, starting from strawberry, finishing with whatever tomatoes or cucumbers you want, or blackberry, etc., right? We are the people of the north, so we can't say that, okay, so we are very happy with all these fruits and vegetables. No, in our areas, we used to wait for the right season, for the summer, right? For the end of summer, by the way, right? But here
is every season has special fruits.
Exactly. And like watermelons, melons, you know, I remember I was so excited when I came to China. I felt like, you know, like in April, May, you can get some watermelon. I was like, really? How is it possible? Like, but now here again, like the farming is also developing, and pesticides and whatever chemicals they put into those, they, again, like I'm just saying, so you literally can get any fruit during the year. So, but it's also kind of negative aspect because this is going to be in the minuses video. So the next one is comparatively cheap and affordable medicine, medical services, etc. For example, we just had an experience. You were in the hospital.
You also.
Me too, but just a month ago you were in the hospital, and we paid 4,000 yen, which is kind of, how much is that? $500, $600 for 4 days.
5.
4. Wednesday,
No, it was
Thursday,
5
Friday,
days.
Saturday. You said that it's cheap. I said it's not very cheap, but you said it's cheap.
But
So
it's same like in Russia.
is it?
Yes.
Well, first off, in Russia we have a Medicare.
Yeah.
Free Medicare,
yes.
right? Even though it's not super good, right? The hospitals are not necessarily brand new, and but mostly still clean. Maybe there would be some queue, right? You have to line up, wait for your turn,
Yes,
etc.,
yes.
etc., right? But still, there is free Medicare in Russia,
Yeah,
right?
and equipment is new.
Equipment, everything is new here in China, right? But again,
And
you say
workers so kind.
workers are very kind. Yeah, like in Russia, you can interact with some nurses and
Yeah.
doctors from this like Soviet Union, right? And they're like they will be harsh on you, like, oh, come on, what the hell is that? Is that a problem? Get the hell out of here, right? Right? Okay, maybe not necessarily like this. Maybe not necessarily like this, but possible. But possible. Here you can get Social Security, which is called Shibao, and this Medicare
It's
you can
only for
get
Chinese.
for us foreigners. We can also get it. We can pay for it. Like every month, you should deposit. I think 500 or 1,000 for a foreigner.
Yes.
I think 1,000 for a foreigner, maybe. Anyway,
Maybe
something
less.
in between $70 to $100 a month, and this is your insurance. So that's how you can, deal with those issues. For example, I had a surgery. I had an Achilles tendon rupture. I completely ruptured my Achilles tendon, and for my surgery and for staying in the hospital for a week, maybe 10 days, right? We paid. I think like 1,500, maybe the $2,000, right?
Yes.
$2,000 for that. So yeah, and back then I was officially hired, by the way, but the school that I used to work for, I used to be a math teacher and language teacher, and no, they didn't cover anything, and they didn't pay for any security, for any Medicare. The way you please let us know if you have to pay for medicine, for medical service in your country, and how much would you pay for like any surgery, for any visit, like you got a cough or you got a flu or something, and you visit the doctor, and how much do you pay? How much money do you need to prepare for that, right? Kindness and simplicity, overall simplicity of people around. What are you going to say? You probably wanted to compare that with Russians, right?
Yes. Chinese, they looks you and
First off, they're very polite, right? Chinese people are very polite when it comes to services, right? Chinese people in general, they don't see you. Well, maybe they see you as a foreign threat, maybe, but in general, they don't have any aggressiveness in themselves, right? They don't have anything, knife at the back or something, right? Like they don't want to be rude or something. They are never rude, right? They're always trying to. Well, of course, there are situations, there are certain incidents. Let's say,
if
yes,
you ask something to help,
right.
Or show the way, they will help you.
Right. So they always are willing to interact,
Yes.
right? The point is that we have something to compare with. Like whenever you go to Russia, for example, right at the border, they can be very rude with you, right? They can be like, oh, come on, give me a passport, or take it. All right, take off the cover, right, or something like that, right? So, I mean, in China, no, it's like both hands, give it to me, please. Here we go. And I think because of that, because of this overall kindness and simplicity, it's this high level of services, again, in any field. It's maybe the service, the job that they do is not of the top quality, right? Could be nails, could be, like fixing somebody's car and stuff like that, right? But they are always trying to show, at least show, that they're here for you.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the job. Don't worry. Please take off your coat. I'll take care of everything else. Relax. Again, we compare that with Russia, where services, again, like in restaurants, like Chinese people really care about face, about status, about reputation in this. In not reputation in general, but when it comes to, for example, different restaurants, they need you to come back. They want you to come back. Come back, please, right? Come again. Like the best thing, not a tip you can give us, but come again, right? So it's this attitude. Maybe not exactly. I think we named it wrongly, right? It's not the high level of services. It's the attitude in any service, right? So that's the point. And again, let us know how it is in your country, right? Are people polite enough? Are people willing to interact and always willing to help? So yeah, that would be interesting. Thank you. All right, people, thank you very much for your attention, for being with us today here. Please give us a like, support our channel. Let us know that we did something useful today, something informative, and of course, let us know what the situation is in your country. And we've decided to start with pluses, and we're going to continue with minuses. So there will be a video about minuses. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. So